If you look at my screen right now, you see that I have a character imported into the scene. And if you look over to the right of the screen, you will also see that I have characters in my library. These are some of the characters that I've rigged over the years. So in due time, you will soon learn how to rig your own characters. Over here, I have a lot of characters. If you want to drag your character, you just simply go to your library and drag them over. And you can view the thumbnail of it if you right click, view. You can view them in list, thumbnails, or details. It's best advised to view them in thumbnails because you have a visual representation of what the character rig looks like. So I'm going to go into the process of starting to animate this character. Show you how to go about animating this character. When you first import your character into your scene, at first he was very large, you know. He was. Let me show you what size. When I brought the character in, I'm just dragging him in again. He was originally this size, and what I had to do, I had to select the character like you would select a body part with your transform tool, and you press B to go up your hierarchy to select the entire character until you select the master peg. Once that master peg is selected, then you can reduce the character in terms of its size. So you hold down shift and you go to the very edge right here and you drag down diagonally and you reduce the character in size. I'm going to undo that because I already have the character imported into the scene. Once the character is imported, you can just position him to the left of your screen. So he's low, so he's pretty much starting at the end of the screen here, and where the goal of our animation is to have him walk across the screen. So he's going to walk over to this end right here. When you start to drag your playhead across your timeline, you'll realize that the character is disappearing. We don't want the character to disappear, so we're going to extend the timeline. So what you will do, you go to the very end. We're starting off with 60 frames. If it is that we need more timing, we need more space, we can always go to the end here and drag this out to get more space for our animation. But for now, we're going to leave it at 60 frames. And as we go along, if we need more access to frames, we just drag it out some more and extend the exposure further. So in order for the character to be visible across all 60 frames, we would have to click to the very end so we're in the cyborg layer over here. And within the cyborg layer, we click to the very end at frame 60, and we're going to press F5 on our keyboard, the function 5. You press F5, and what that does, when we drag our playhead through our scene, the character is visible for the entire duration of 60 frames. Now, what I also did was, by default, you will have a drawing layer in your scene. On that drawing layer, I had gone ahead and put a reference line or a guideline for the character's feet to walk on. So can remember now, I add a color card. What I did was to add a color card. That is why, because before there was no color card and the scene looked like this. So I would advise no, because in the end, you're going to put your own background. You can go on the internet and put a background behind your scene and to give it more appeal. But you're going to, for now, we're going to use a color card. So you're going to click the plus button here and add a color card to put behind our scene. And we, on the drawing layer down here, we horizontal line. You can use your line tool to draw your horizontal line. So I'm going to have one horizontal line, and if you hold down shift, when drawing that horizontal line, you get a perfectly straight horizontal line. If you don't hold down shift, the horizontal line will go, well, the line will go in any direction that you want it to go into. But if you want it to be a very straight line, you hold down shift while drawing with the I'm going to create another line. That line is going to be for the character's top part, because remember when we're looking at the here, notice that they have two guidelines. They have one guideline for the character's feet, and they have another guideline for the character's head at the top. So those two guidelines are the guidelines that we start off with. All right. So I'm going to hold down shift and draw that horizontal line. Notice that I'm doing this on the drawing layer here. All right, so it's on the drawing layer here. You don't want to be drawing it under the character itself. So make sure you have a separate layer to draw your horizontal line. All right, so we have those two. Notice that whenever I zoom out, it looks as if the lines are deleted or disappear. So that's just because the lines are very fine. So we're going to pay attention to the timing information. So we're going to have frame 1, frame 5, frame 9, 13, and 17. So we're going to pose the down position on frame number 5. We're going to pose the passing position on frame number 9. Frame 13 as the step or the up position, and frame 17. So remember those key poses. Are you able to see my Toon Boom Harmony screen? I'm using two screens, you know, so I don't know if you're, all right, good. Just checking. Now here's another tip. When you're working with your animation, you can always collapse your windows and expand your windows. So right now I have this amount of space here as it relates to dealing with my character. But you see these little arrows right here on your screen? You can click this little arrow pointing in this direction to expand the entire screen, because there's no need, I don't need to see my library anymore. So I can collapse it to get more space so that I can see what, I can actually see the entire screen going across. I'm going to start off by posing my character. Um, I'm going to go select a body part with my transform tool. I'm about to go my hierarchy and pose it like that. Continue to go up. Notice that I've selected the master peg, and I'm now moving the character in position. I'm actually using my arrow keys to actually nudge him. You can see that he's moving at very small increments. I'm using my arrow key to actually nudge him into position. I'm gonna press B to go up the hierarchy. Up. So notice that both legs are now touching the line here. To make life easier for me, is that this hand has a slight bend right here and the wrist flex back like that. And this hand is somewhat in front of him like that. So lock to activate your deformer, I'm going to create a slight bend in the hand right here. And have the hand go back like this. Probably rotate the hand going back like that. To have this hand down like this. Now, I'm just realigning the contact pose so that's where the contact pose is. The guideline for it. And to insert a keyframe to that. Right now we have a keyframe at frame number 1. The next key pose, in this assignment, you're going to go over to Moodle and you're going to look at the timing information. So the down pose happens at frame number 5. I'm going to zoom in on the timeline here. I'm going to go to frame 5 here. Here would be frame 5. I can tell what frame number that I'm on by looking right here. So right here is frame 5. You can see that because you don't see the number of the timeline information here. You know, so you can know specifically. Now I'm going to pose the character. Oh, here's another thing too. I did not get the chance to extend my guideline, extend the exposure of my guideline. So this down here where it says drawing, I'm going to name this layer drawing, or name it guideline, or guide, or floor. You can name it whatever you want to name. I'm going to go to the end here and press F5. So now when I scrub through the timeline, I'm still seeing the guidelines consist, because he's going to need a ground plane to actually walk on. So go to frame 5. Now what we want to do, I'm going to turn on the onion skin. All right. So let me just show you what happened a while ago. So a while ago, let's say I add a keyframe at frame number 5. Rochelle, you're not seeing my screen, none at all. Rochelle, you're able to see my screen? Oh, sorry about that. It's because I have more than one screens working with. Are you seeing the Toon Boom screen now? Alright, good. It's because I had multiple screens open and I thought that you were all seeing the Toon Boom screen. Alright. So basically I started off by posing the character into the contact pose, frame 5. So I'm going to start by posing the leg. Notice with the down position that the leg is bent like this and the back leg is bent even more. And notice how the arms, they are further away from the body and the down position is the lowest position in the walk. So what we can do, we can now start to bend this leg like this. We notice what you're seeing when I detach the leg here. Notice that you're starting to see a lot of information here regarding the 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 onion skin. Because, all right, look closely. I've gone ahead and started to bend the leg. But look at what is happening when the leg is bending. Notice that look at the tip part here versus where it was before. The leg is actually, and this is one of the main problems with walk cycles or with progressive A to B walks. Leg starts to slide, and we have to utilize the onion skin to prevent the legs from sliding backwards. So here's another feature that you can do. You see, when you click on the keyframe, you can actually click on the keyframes in your timeline. You're going to click on a keyframe, and you're going to look into your properties right here. This area here where you see plus KF, minus KF. But you also see some additional tools here where you say set motion keyframe, and you have this other one that says set stop motion keyframe. Now, in order for us to accurately plant the foot without any confusion, we want to set the keyframe to set stop motion keyframe. So this button right here, we're going to click on this. And remember, if you're not seeing any of these tools, just simply right click in this empty area here that says timeline view. That says you're not seeing your tools right here. You simply right click here and go timeline view, and you see a plus KF or minus KF, and you see these additional tools. So we want to click on this button because look what is happening when I turn on the onion skin. I'm seeing all of these. I'm seeing the in-betweens. I don't want to see the in-betweens just as yet. But when I click on the first keyframe and click on this button here, I'm only seeing the very last keyframe post. So it's no longer showing the in-betweens. It's now showing the previous key pose. Because what is happening is that the in-betweens are confusing me. So at the moment now, I can scrub between these two main key poses. And what I can do now is that I can actually grab the leg. I'm going to select the leg. So I'm selecting the entire leg here. And I'm going to move it into position right here. Notice what I do? I move it right there. So what is happening now is that with his leg, it's going to actually look. Nobody seeing that? Because before the leg was in this position and his leg below the ground line and his leg would be stepping backwards. So for this, we're going to utilize the onion skin, but you have to click on this button here to set to click set motion, set stop motion keyframe, where you can actually move the leg into a specific position right here where it actually pivots on the heel. This is very important because if we didn't do this and I would play the animation of him walking, it would look actually his legs are sliding. It wouldn't look good. His legs would look as if it is sliding. I just want to start off with the leg. This leg here now, I'm going to notice that it rotates like this. But here's a little trick that I'm going to do. You can actually grab this pivot point I can actually move it here. I'm going to move it down like that. I'm going to actually, he actually has a bend in his leg. His leg bends like this. I'm going to press B to go up the height. I know it's a bit unorthodox now, but trust me, when you do it like this, it actually, notice that I'm moving the pivot point here, and I'm going to move this back up like that. Notice now that there's a little bit of bend in his leg. Now, the position of where he is. So now we have the upper body. Oh, the hips. Oh, crap. The hips. How me get the hips? I'm going to try moving the hips right here. A little bit of problem with the hips. So actually select the upper body and position right here. Alright, so this is where it should be. Let me go through between poses. When I scrub between the two key poses, you can see that he's actually stepping forward. What I just have a little bit of problem with this character because it is difficult for me to move the hips independently because the hips control the legs. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to animate the character with his hips because I can't move the hips. I could go into the rig, and actually unparent that to it, but I mean, we're going to have to just work with the rig. Now, let us look at what you would notice with this is that his body tends to lean forward a bit. So I'm going forward like that. Notice that the arms are further away from. So this arm here would come up a bit more like that, and this arm would come out a little bit backwards like that. Would also do I put a slight bend in the neck forward like that. Right here we have our first key poses. Moving from contact pose into a down pose. And the arms are coming up. But I would let's look back at the I would actually straighten what I would do with the arm a bit here, straighten it out a little bit, and flex that arm back just a little bit. Then I have this arm raises up like that. That kind of comes down. Oh boy. I have to move the pivot here. What? This arm giving me problem. What? Never mind. Not going to trouble this time. It's giving me problem. So what you do when you're satisfied with the key pose of the character, you're going to go onto your timeline and press plus KF because open up my group. I'm going to press 9 to open up the group. Oh, well, apply to everything going down. Down. We're finished with our main key pose, which is the down position. The second key to look at is our. Now, once again, notice, like, look at how the PowerPoint screen, look at how the leg is to be straight, and this back leg is going to cross, going to go the other leg here. It's going to act like a cross. That's why they call it crossing position. So I'm going to start off by working on the leg. So, by the way, the next key pose, it happens at so we're going to go to frame number 9, and remember you can get the information when you're on frame number 9. No, you can get the timing information on Moodle. Straighten out this leg. The leg is very straight. Straighten out the lower leg like that. Oh, sorry about that. I just made a mistake. A while ago, I was still on frame number 5. What I should have done is move the playhead to frame number 9, then start to pose the new, because that mistake has happened to me in the past, where when you complete one key pose and you forget to move on to frame number 9, it's basically like you're deleting the progress that you made on the other key pose. So always be mindful to move the playhead to the next, like if the next key pose is frame 9, you move the playhead to frame number 9. Want to straighten out the leg now. I notice that it creates on our timeline, it creates a third keyframe. And notice once again that we're seeing the in-between start to form. So what you do, I don't want to see the in-betweens as yet. So I can go to my second keyframe and press this button here, which is your stop motion, set keyframe to stop motion. So when I go to this keyframe, I adjust to the last keyframe. It doesn't show me the in-between. It just shows me the last keyframe. So I'm going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the pivot, has the leg rotating like this. So I'm going to move, you can temporarily move the pivot of the joint. I'm moving it down there, and I'm going to straighten the leg out like that. And I'm going to move the leg back into this position, because remember, his leg is planted on the ground. We're trying to avoid a scenario where his legs are sliding. His leg would be right here. By the way, I have to move. What I have to do is the hip. Because The hip controls the two legs. When you start to interact, I don't know if the other characters behave like this, but I have to move the hip up and then move the leg back into position. Like that. Move this like that. Bend this leg like that. I'm having a bit of Z spacing issues. I'm going to, hold on, let me go back. All right. I'm seeing where there's an error right here. If what you have to be mindful of is the positioning of the legs versus the arms. Because if you look at the diagram over here, this leg is in front, so the other hand on the other side must be in front. So pretty much I have to reverse the arm. Give me a moment. Let me just the arm. Arm forward like this. Move this arm backwards like that. Now I have to move this arm back. I have to reverse the arms because of the placement of the arms were in the wrong position. Arms kind of look weird though. The position of this arm looks too long. Upper body would be slightly above right here. body would be upright. It would be at the side. I press down Alt and down to get the Z spacing of the legs forward like that. Have the leg bent like this. Just observe. I'm just them. Go ahead. Notice that this leg is to be pointing downwards, horizontal. Have that go down a bit. Move them across. Okay, the side. Like that. Okay. So as you can see, right now we have three main key poses. Notice sometimes you have key spacing issues. Notice that the leg is in front of the arm. So remember, you hold down Alt on your keyboard and you press the down button, and that will push the arm in front of the leg. This arm needs to be forward a bit. Back like that. Notice I'm just laying down key. I have three key poses so far. I have the contact pose, I have the down pose of contact, down, passing. So the next key pose that we're going to pose is the up or the step position. So let us look position. Notice that how it's the highest position in the walk, and it's basically on his tiptoe, and one of the legs is stepping forward now. So this leg that is in the ear is going to be stepping forward. And I can grab the entire hip up. The same mistake again. I'm supposed to go to the new frame. I'm supposed to go to the new frame, which would be frame. And I was creating the new key pose on frame 9. So go to frame 13 and you pose the new key pose. Turn off the motion tweening. Character right here. Going forward. The upper body. Move the forward that right here. Right, so that's the up position. This arm would be swinging forward like that. This arm would be going backward, like that. And then have a bend in the arm right here. Add a keyframe to ensure everything is keyed going down. Notice that I have 4 key poses. We have the contact, we have the down, we have the passing position, we have the step, and now pose back, the contact pose. Notice that this contact pose here, notice the height. We're going to ensure that the height of the character is like this, along the height reference line. So the other one happens, let's look at the timing. The other, we're going to go to frame number 17. Similar, but with the body parts reversed. Alright. Good afternoon, Miss Black.
Good afternoon.
I just finishing up with this demonstration.
Okay, that's fine.
Like that. I'm going to turn on the stop motion keyframe to the previous position. Move it over. Right. Notice that this was the first contact pose. So I want the leg to come down roughly the same height here. I just push it there to measure the height. Move this forward a bit. Have this leg come back a bit. This forward. Just move the entire up. You right here. Notice that the character has to touch the reference line. Straighten his body out a bit. Straighten out the arm. You know, this part. I know we should have the 5 key poses over the first 17 frames. So We have the contact pose, the down pose, passing position, step back into contact. The thing is, so I'm just going to, I'm not going to turn on the motion tween just yet. I'm just going to show you what it looks like with just the main key poses. So we have him kind of doing the in-betweens or the motion tween as yet. We just have the key poses where he's attempting to do one step. Walking. So when we put it, but we'll pick up on this in the, so once you start to interact more with the characters, you have to interact with them. All right, to you now, Miss Black, so you can have your class.
Oh,
Wait,
Mr. Watson,
sir.
thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hi, Miss Black. I don't think I'll be in class right now because my phone is overheating because I'm using data plan and using a hotspot. My phone is overheating and it's not charging properly right now. So I have to leave because I don't want to destroy my phone battery life.